All right, so get ready because today we are diving into a mystery that blends Cold War intrigue with the age-old question. Are we alone in the universe? We're talking about Joseph Stalin, the Soviet Union, and a whole lot of UFO sightings. You might know Stalin as that iron-fisted dictator. But what if I told you that behind that steely facade was a man captivated by the possibility of extraterrestrial life?
Yeah, it really is a fascinating paradox. You have this leader obsessed with control, yet deeply intrigued by something. That represents the ultimate unknown.
Exactly. We're not talking about some passing curiosity here. Stalin genuinely believed that UFOs could pose a significant threat, or maybe an opportunity, for the Soviet Union. He saw it as a matter of national security. So, let's set the stage. Picture the Soviet Union in the 1940s and 50s. The Cold War is heating up. Tensions with the West are at an all-time high. And suddenly, people across the USSR start seeing strange things in the sky.
And these weren't just your average, everyday folks reporting lights in the sky. We're talking military personnel, scientists, government officials, people from all walks of life, claiming to have seen unidentified objects, strange lights, even beings.
Okay, hold on. So, while the world is on edge, worried about nuclear war, people in the Soviet Union are looking up and seeing what exactly? Can you give us some specific examples from the files?
Well, many reports describe these disc-shaped objects,
Yeah.
metallic in appearance, hovering silently or zipping across the sky at incredible speeds, defying what was thought to be possible with aircraft at the time.
Right.
There are also accounts of these strange lights that moved erratically, changing direction on a dime, something that would be impossible for conventional aircraft.
Wow, that sounds straight out of a science fiction film. Can you imagine seeing that in the sky? What would you think? Would you report it? Would you even believe your own eyes?
And that's exactly the kind of dilemma that people in the Soviet Union faced. What do you do when you see something that defies all logical explanation, especially in a society where questioning the official narrative could land you in trouble?
That's a great point. So, how did Stalin's government react to this wave of sightings? I mean,
Yeah.
you'd think they'd want to keep a lid on things, avoid any potential panic.
Absolutely. You have to remember, the Soviet Union was a highly controlled society. Information was tightly managed. So
Yeah.
when these UFO reports started flooding in, the Kremlin's immediate response was to classify them. Top secret, they scamped on these files, hoping to keep a lid on things. But, as you can imagine, that only fueled public curiosity and speculation.
So it's a classic case of trying to suppress information, only making people more curious. What does it even mean for something to be classified in the Soviet Union? What kind of information was kept secret and why?
Well, in the context of the Cold War, classified information could be anything, from military secrets and technological advancements to political dissent, and yes, even UFO sightings. The Soviet government believed that controlling information was essential to maintaining order, preventing the spread of potentially harmful ideas, and of course, safeguarding their position on the world stage.
So while the rest of the world was focused on the nuclear arms race, Stalin was dealing with a potential extraterrestrial threat, at least in his mind. And he wasn't about to let little thing like classified information stop him from getting to the bottom of this.
Right.
Not
So,
at Stalin.
driven by his fascination and the possible strategic implications of these UFOs, took a very proactive approach. He assembled a secret task force, think scientists, military experts, intelligence officers, the best and brightest minds the Soviet Union had to offer.
Wow.
Mission to analyze these reports, gather evidence, interview witnesses, and figure out what in the world was going on in Soviet airspace.
Wait, so Stalin had his own version of a secret UFO investigation unit, like something out of a spy thriller, operating right under everyone's noses.
Exactly. They operated in the shadows,
Yeah.
sifting through reports, trying to separate fact from fiction. It was a clandestine operation, shrouded in secrecy, a reflection of the paranoia and mistrust that defined the Cold War era.
So we've got Stalin's secret UFO squad working behind the scenes, trying to make sense of these baffling sightings. It really does feel like we're stepping into some Cold War spy novel, doesn't it?
It does.
You mentioned that their methods were surprisingly thorough. What exactly did these investigations involve? Did they have special equipment, secret labs, or anything like that?
From the declassified files,
Yeah.
we've been able to piece together. It seems they took a multi-pronged approach. They meticulously documented each report, cross-referencing them to look for patterns, analyzing witness testimonies, and even consulting with astronomers, meteorologists, physicists, anyone who could help them rule out conventional explanations.
That's fascinating. Sounds like they were approaching this from a very scientific perspective. But did they find anything concrete? I mean, did Stalin's UFO hunters ever uncover any, you know, Alien artifacts?
Well, that's the million-ruble question, isn't it?
Yeah.
While some declassified files hint at the possibility of collective physical evidence, the specifics remain shrouded in mystery. Some researchers believe that certain artifacts might still be tucked away in some secret Soviet archive, just waiting to be discovered.
Okay, now that's a thought that sends shivers down my spine.
Yeah.
A secret stash of alien technology, hidden away somewhere in Russia. That would rewrite history as we know it. But even if they didn't find any crashed spaceships or little green men, these investigations must have had some kind of impact on Stalin himself. I mean, here's a man obsessed with control, with maintaining the Soviet Union's dominance. And suddenly he's faced with something completely outside his grasp, something that challenges his entire worldview. Did those UFOs rattling around his airspace shake him up at all?
It's certainly a compelling thought. Imagine being in Stalin's shoes. You've built your entire ideology on the idea that humans are the masters of their own destiny, shaping the world through science and technology. And then you're confronted with evidence suggesting we might not be alone in the universe, that we might not even be the most advanced civilization out there.
It's a bit of an existential crisis for a dictator, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And it raises an important question for us to consider. Did Stalin's encounter with the UFO phenomenon, even indirectly, influence his decision-making? Did it affect his Cold War strategies in any way?
Now that you mention it, there are some interesting parallels. The UFO sightings, the secrecy, the paranoia, it all feeds into that classic Cold War narrative of suspicion and mistrust, doesn't it?
Right.
Do you think those anxieties about potential extraterrestrial threats might have bled over into his thinking about the West?
Some historians actually argue that Stalin's belief in the potential technological superiority of these unknown craft may have fueled his arms race with the West. Imagine him thinking, if these UFOs are real and they possess technology far beyond anything we have, then we need to catch up. We need to be prepared for any eventuality. That kind of logic would certainly track with his personality and strategic goals, wouldn't you say?
It absolutely would. It's like he's looking at these UFOs and seeing not just a mystery, but a potential threat, a technological gap that needs to be closed. So Stalin's UFO obsession wasn't just some weird personal quirk. It might have actually had a real impact on the course of history.
Yeah.
It's heavy stuff. Before we move on, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier about the impact of these investigations on Stalin's worldview. You said it challenged him. But how so?
Well, picture this. You're Joseph Stalin, the dictator of a superpower, used to getting your way. You believe in the power of science and technology to shape the world. And then you're faced with something that defies all scientific explanation, something that hints at the existence of forces beyond human comprehension, beyond human control. It throws a wrench into your carefully constructed reality.
You're almost making me feel a little sorry for the guy. Almost. But it's fascinating to think that even as he's potentially using UFOs for propaganda and shaping his Cold War strategies around them, on a personal level, he's grappling with some pretty big questions.
Right.
About humanity's place in the cosmos. It adds a whole new layer of complexity to our understanding of this historical figure, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And it speaks to that inherent human need to understand the unknown, a need that transcends ideology and even time itself. It makes you wonder if other world leaders throughout history, facing their own uncertainties and challenges, might have looked up at the sky with the same mix of fear and fascination that Stalin did.
Now that's a chilling thought. What secrets might be hidden in their archives? What impact might those hidden obsessions have had on the world as we know it? Okay, folks, we're going to take a quick breather here, but when we come back, we'll explore the legacy of Stalin's UFO files and what they tell us about the enduring human fascination with the unknown. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been exploring the intriguing world of Stalin's UFO files, delving into his secret investigations, the potential impact on his Cold War strategies, and even how these unexplained phenomena might have challenged his own worldview. But now, let's shift gears and talk about the lasting impact of these files. What's their significance today, beyond just historical curiosity?
Yeah, that's a great question. You see, Stalin's obsession with UFOs wasn't just a quirk of his personality or a product of Cold War paranoia. It taps into a much deeper human fascination with the unknown, with the possibility that we're not alone in this vast universe. And that fascination, that desire to understand our place in the cosmos, transcends political ideologies, cultural differences. It's a universal human impulse.
So even though the Cold War is long over, those questions raised by these UFO files are still relevant today.
Absolutely. Think about it. The declassification of these files has reignited public interest in UFOs, and the possibility of extraterrestrial life has given us this tantalizing glimpse into how one of history's most powerful figures grappled with those very same questions that we're still asking today.
And it's not just historians who are interested in these files.
Right.
This whole idea of secret Soviet UFO investigations has captured the imaginations of conspiracy theorists, sci-fi enthusiasts, and even everyday people who just love a good mystery.
You're absolutely right. It's tapped into something deep within our collective psyche. I mean, think about all the books, documentaries, and even fictionalized accounts in movies and TV shows that have been inspired by these files. The enduring fascination is undeniable.
It's like we're all searching for answers, looking for some kind of confirmation that we're not alone in the universe. And these files, with their blend of historical fact and tantalizing mystery, they feed into that desire perfectly. But beyond the intrigue and the speculation, these files also offer valuable insights into how governments handle information they deem sensitive, how they use secrecy and propaganda to shape public perception.
That's a crucial point. This isn't just about aliens and spaceships. It's about how information is controlled, how narratives are crafted, and how those in power utilize these tools to maintain control and influence public opinion. It's a story that resonates just as strongly today as it did during the Cold War, wouldn't you say?
It definitely does. So, what can we take away from all of this? What lessons can we learn from this deep dive into Stalin's UFO obsession?
Well, for one thing, it reminds us that history is rarely black and white. Even figures like Stalin, who we often view as one-dimensional villains, can have hidden depths, unexpected complexities that challenge our assumptions and force us to re-examine the past with fresh eyes.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, isn't it?
Right.
You think you know someone, and then you uncover this whole other side to them, these hidden passions and obsessions that might have shaped their actions in ways we never imagined.
It also highlights the enduring power of mystery. The human mind is naturally drawn to the unexplained, to the possibility of something beyond our current understanding. And that's what keeps us curious, keeps us searching, keeps us engaged with the world around us.
And in a world that can often feel predictable, mundane, even overwhelming at times, that sense of wonder, that spark of curiosity is more important than ever, wouldn't you say?
I couldn't agree more. So
Yeah.
keep asking questions, keep challenging assumptions, and never lose that childlike sense of wonder. You never know what incredible discoveries might be waiting just around the corner, hidden in plain sight, or tucked away in some dusty archive, waiting to be brought to light.
Beautifully said. This has been a truly eye-opening deep dive. And on that note, we'll leave you with one final thought to ponder. If Stalin, a man who built his legacy on control and predictability, could be so captivated by the mystery of UFOs, what does that tell us about the enduring human need to explore the unknown? Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep looking up. You never know what you might find if you...